Um, there was reports that McLaren and Lando Norris were actually 3/10 up on their lap. 3/10 up on Carlos Sainz before he bailed out of it in the last corner. Interesting. Interesting. This is also going to be a Christian Horner free zone. We're not going to talk about Horner. We're just going to focus on the racing. Let's see what shocks it brings up. I'm gonna put this here, pin that, give that a cheeky like when you know, when you feel like it, when you want to. Love that. Do we think Mercedes has more pace? Or are they adrift once everyone's bumped their engines up? That's the real question, isn't it? I don't think they're as... I don't think they're as good as they were yesterday, certainly. But I think Mercedes will be ever so slightly behind. But we'll see. I think it's going to be close, though. Based on FP3, I think it could be... I think it genuinely could be like 3/10 between the top 6, 7. That's how close it's going to be, which is kind of insane, really. If we end up with a qualifying like that and Red Bull just don't storm it, or Red Bull just put their feet down now and absolutely storm it, then we'll be ruined. But if we have a situation where Red Bull actually aren't on pole, then we'll see. It could make for a very interesting race tomorrow. I'll say that. I just love the Formula One's back, man. Love it. Can't get enough of it. Atty, thank you very much, sir, for the 77 months. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I've been trying to keep on tabs of what people are saying since FP3 in terms of data and what have you. I feel like everyone's, you know, doing their guesses and what have you, but it's still, even after 3 practice sessions, honestly, it's still relatively unknown. And even depending on qualifying, like, the race pace could be something different entirely. So Papaya, thank you for the 16 months. Well, let's hope it's for a good season. During testing, we thought Red Bull were out ahead, like, massively, and they might still be, but we're hopeful that, you know, that's not going to be the case. So yeah, we're gonna find out. Now is when we're gonna find out, and that's what I'm excited for. But at the same time, like I say, even if McLaren are pole, Ferrari are pole, it doesn't mean they're going to be the fastest in the race tomorrow. Which is why this season could be really interesting if that's the case. If Red Bull don't have the fastest over 1 lap, but they've got really good race pace, it could make for some really exciting races. Based on FP3, though, I genuinely don't know who I would... I genuinely don't know who I would go for pole. I genuinely don't know. Any of you know who you'd go for? Let me know. Let me know. I don't know. Sainz looked good. You wouldn't rule out Verstappen. Alonso put in a blinding time. I think Mercedes are maybe a little bit off, so I don't think they'll be quite up there. Apparently Norris was quick enough to go pole if you put his lap in. Well, quicker to get the fastest time, not pole, sorry, but I'm none the wiser. I have this feeling deep down within me. People have said on social media, based on the GPS and stuff, that Red Bull have turned their engine up, Ferrari turned their engine up in FP3. But I just have this feeling deep down of untrust that Red Bull have got way more in the tank still. And come qualifying, they'll be miles ahead. And I hope that's wrong, but deep down, that's what I'm worried about. Can you imagine if Lewis got pole? The place would go bloody mad. I think that's unlikely. Charles has a chance of getting pole. You know? Charles could get pole. Sainz could get pole. Alonso could get pole. Max could get pole. Maybe Norris could get pole. Any others? I don't think Perez is going to get pole. There's 2 people that aren't going to get pole. Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon. I think that's safe. I think that's a safe bet. Ooh, Piastri. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, yeah, Perez, you know, it's not that Perez isn't capable. It's not that he isn't capable, I just don't think he's gonna. Hi, Softy. It is late afternoon for us currently. Right, let me put the broadcast on. I haven't even been watching the broadcast. I didn't even watch that intro properly. The wild new intro, where we missed out on, you know, George Russell putting his arms out. Apparently, George Russell said in an interview that all the drivers did like poses like that. You could tell which drivers are comfortable in front of the camera and which ones aren't, though. Daniel Ricciardo looks like a natural. Pierre Gasly looks pretty comfortable as well, actually. I wonder where RB are going to finish, actually. Yeah, not only is the broadcast on Sky Go behind Wolves, it's also, I think, in 720p as well, isn't it? Yeah, there's more delay on YouTube current unless you put it on lower delay. I tell you for why. Not that it matters for this, but if you run 1440p on YouTube, you get more. You can't run it in ultra low latency. If you want to run ultra low latency, it has to be less than 1440p. For whatever reason. And I stream at 1440p on YouTube. Not that I need to for this, but you try and put it on ultra low latency, and it tells you that. I don't really understand why it does that, but so it's normal latency on YouTube rather than running the low latency, which is why it'll be behind. I've also noticed this with the YouTubes. Very windy in Bahrain. Very windy indeed. You can't read the text below what, Vinton? Yeah, for whatever reason, you can only have the low latency on 1080p on YouTube. Anything more than that, and it's normal latency. Not sure why. It's a good camera fly-through. Red Bull to dominate everyone now, do you think? Oh, below 420. Sorry. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a very different temperature and obviously time of day to when we had the FP3 earlier. This is a lot cooler. Obviously, it's in the evening now. And so it's very different. Fernando Alonso for a cheeky pole? Maybe. All right. Hear me out. Logan Sargent. Just saying. Well, it can be based on teams that overheat their tires or overwork their tires. Obviously, if it's cooler, it'll be better for them and what have you. So, yeah, that can be a thing.
New subscription received. Dispensing gratitude.
Well, that's a good question, Craig. Thank you very much for the 19 months. I think...
How many seconds will Max be pole by?
In my heart of hearts, I think Max will be on pole by 0.3. Last year's pole was a 1:29.7. Andretti can't replace anyone, Sid, until a team is put up for sale. The F1 can't force a team to sell. They have to want to. And Haas have no intention of selling. If someone wants to sell, then they can buy them. But if no one wants to sell, then here's what it is. Qualifying has begun. Ferrari straight out on track. Just see if this updates. It should do. There we go, yeah. Science has gone out on mediums. I think maybe some of the teams, Ferrari, are going to run a medium in Q1. Sorry. Yeah.
Pre-subscription received. Apparently, you were doing something right, Captain.
Welly, thank you very much for 71 months. Oh, baby. Yeah, which is weird because the mediums were the C2s from last week. Sorry, my brain was being slow. From testing, they were the C2s. So it's medium here, but it was actually the hard tire in testing. I think RB will be top end of the top 10. They could make some surprises. They couldn't. It's going to be so close, I think, between all the teams that there could be some surprises here. For sure. A lot of wheel spin for Sainz there at turn 4. We got the car really turned in well on turn 8, though. Bottas, yeah. Charles Leclerc's already gone quicker than Sainz. Same tyre, first sector. Most of the cars are in the garage. So only the 2 Ferraris and the 2 Alpines that are out currently. I mean, the Alpines need time on the track, though, don't they? So... A 31-2 from Sainz on the mediums. Charles Leclerc ever so slightly slower. We're going to have a pretty good idea now of how slow Alpine or fast Alpine are. A direct comparison. 7 tenths. I thought it'd be worse than that for them. Gasly was 1.2 off. Ocon was 7 tenths off Ferrari's time. Same tyre. I genuinely thought it'd be worse than that. Everyone else is just waiting. Oh my god. Gasly, 1.2 seconds off the pace on that lap, and his lap time got deleted. Just for fun. Just for bants. Yeah, I mean... A 131.2 on the medium tyre is a bit slower than I was expecting, but track conditions are different to testing, and there's a lot of wind, so... Oh, here we go. Everyone's going out now. So everyone's waited, and everyone has now gone out at the same time. Like, Jesus. It's so bad how it works, isn't it? Everyone waits, and then everyone just goes at the same time. Everyone sits in the garage, and then 16 cars go, actually, yeah, now's the time to go out. All at the same time. Yeah, I think that's not... I think that's just the feed. It'll update. Oh. Christ, it's just a car park in the pits, man. Just bring back one lap shootouts. Just bring back one lap shootouts. I suppose not fair, though, is it? Track deg makes it not fair. Now we're going to get to see some times. Everyone's out there, soft tyres. The only person that I don't think's gone out just yet is Perez. Well, I guess Max didn't want to risk that he was going to actually overtake when he shouldn't have. Yeah. Well, they did obviously make a rule about drivers not lingering in the pits and everything. But honestly, it's still a bit ambiguous. It's not... Yeah. Perez is on an outlap now as well. Just took a while to come up. All right, Piastri's on a fast one. Let's follow Piastri round and see what McLaren are looking like. Even Stroll could be right up there, guys. Piastri already 5/10 up in the first sector. Albon just did a 30.6 on the softs. So we're definitely gonna improve on that. So we might get closer towards the pole time from last year. $30.6 for Hulkenberg. Haas got good first single lap pace. They're ahead of the Williams. Norris with a purple first sector, 28.9. Good noon, Eddie. Oh, and then Alonso did a 28.8 first sector. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, Magnussen a 31.2. Jesus, 8/10 off his teammate. Norris is 3/10 up on Hulkenberg's. Piastri and he goes P3. What? Stroll went... What? Norris goes P1. 30.1. Okay. George is down 2/10 in the first sector. Verstappen is up currently. Alonso does a 30.1, matching Norris's time pretty much. Hamilton 7/10 down. Ooh. Russell goes P4. 3/10 down on Verstappen's time, who went to the top. Yeah, I tell you what. I think Mercedes are going to be behind a lot of cars. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say there's any controversial predictions. Nothing's happened to Mercedes at all. The other teams have just finally put their engines on max. But it's close. Like, we're talking 3/10 between the top six. That's good. Norris is a 10th off Verstappen's time currently. So this is good. This is good. Sainz goes P1. Ooh, they used to win everything. That was a long time ago. Red Bull has won the last 3 years in a row, so... Ferrari used to win everything. Do you remember when Williams used to win everything? Every team has a period where they used to win everything. Yeah. Hamilton must have had a dodgy lap because he's a good 5/10 down on his teammate. Jesus, those sparks on the Mercedes, they're insane. He was on... Is Sargent for real? He was on the side of the bloody road. Do you want Hamilton to disappear? The only thing that's slow to move, Sargent, is you, mate. You're slow to move around the bloody track. We got 4 minutes left to Q1. Yeah, I mean... No points in quali, no. All the points are in the race. Wasn't a good lap from Hamilton. He'll definitely need a better lap. Drivers are going so slow in the pit lane. Like, they've got to stop this nonsense. They've got to. This thing keeps pausing. Yeah, loads of people are on a lap. Let me refresh this because it seems to keep breaking. I have to keep an eye on it. It's a bit dodge. Hold on. Yeah, WEC will be good. Oh, it keeps breaking. Hoping this will... There we go. The Sauber's not looking as racy as I thought they would. Or the RBs, actually. Magnussen needs a better lap. Hulkenberg's up in 8th, but Magnussen still struggling in 18th. Yeah, Hulk is a great qualifier. And he'll do well in the races, providing he doesn't have a car that gobbles its tyres like last year. Zhou Guanyu moves up to 11th. Are you watching Bag, Dawn, or are you relying purely on my commentary out of interest? We're on board with Sonoda at the minute. Magnussen goes P10. Stroll's done a purple middle sector. Hamilton needs a good sector or he's going out. Stroll's up on the time he needs to get out of the bottom. Tsunoda goes 9th. Ricciardo goes 11th. Stroll goes P2. Okay. Hamilton only goes 10th, though. It's not good. I don't know what's going on with Hamilton all of a sudden. He's looked fast all weekend. Ocon and Gasly currently P19 and P20. Ocon, he stays 19th. Oh dear. Gasly 20th. Ocon and Gasly 19th and 20th. We said it was possible. Ooh. That's rough. Logan Sargent knocked out straight away when his teammate's up in 9th place. He was 4/10 off his teammate. Not great, is it? Not great. Both Saubers knocked out. Russell and Hamilton in 8th and 10th. It looks like the Ferraris, the McLarens, the Astons are all ahead of Mercedes. Honestly, a Williams could get ahead of Mercedes as well. Mercedes might not even make it into Q3, you know. It's so close that one of the RBs, a Haas, any one of them could put in a good lap and knock Mercedes out of Q2. For sure. There's no guarantee they're going to make it into Q3. Yeah. 4/10 between Albon and Sargent. Albon goes through in 10th. Sargent goes out. It's just not good, is it? 18th for Sargent. The only two cars slower than him are the two boats. It's not great from Sargent. I don't know if he had a problem on his lap, but you know, Albon's up there in 9th with a 30.3. Sargent did a 30.7. He's 4/10 off his teammate. I mean, when qualifying's this close, it makes a big difference. Essentially, a second covers the whole field from 1st to 20th. Sainz did a 20.9. Gasly did a 30.9. A second is covering the whole field. So 4/10 is a lot. Let's see what happens in the race with him, you know. He might have just had a bad outlap or something, I don't know. It's close, which is why one mistake could be the difference between you finishing, you know, qualifying 4th and qualifying 11th. Yeah, and race pace might be completely different. I get the feeling that from yesterday, Mercedes have made changes to the car that would make their race pace better, but sacrifice one lap pace. Because they had great one lap pace yesterday, but they weren't good on race pace. So I reckon they've possibly made some changes to help them. So, yeah. Yeah, that car's just not good, that Alpine, is it? Piastri's going to need a slightly better qualifying as well, I think. Jay Murray, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, Piastri looked a little bit off Lando as well, didn't he? Piastri was in 12th, 6/10 off. And Norris was in 4th, 2 and a bit tenths off. So Piastri was 4 tenths off his teammate. Hamilton didn't have a good lap either. He ended up just a tenth slower than Russell, but Hamilton looked really good yesterday, but he struggled so far in qualifying to put a lap in. Again, maybe that's to do with he's changed something on the setup for the race. I don't know. But where's Peter when you need him? Where's Peter giving it the big one yesterday? Oh, look, Mercedes. I was telling you, wasn't I? I was telling you Mercedes were real. Where's he now? Come on, Peter. Show your face. You coward. Yeah, come on. I like the blue on the RB. I just don't like the white elements on it. I think the white elements clashes with the silver as well. Yeah. I would like... we've talked about this at length, but I would like to see some rules being brought in, sporting regs, that dictate the amount of paint that needs to be on cars and say that all visible body panels have to be painted. It is still there, Daz, yeah. It is still there. I've been told it's there. I'm not sure exactly where it is. No, I haven't, Johnny, because I need to message them. I left it with them. They told me that they would look at it in the new year, and he hasn't got back to me. So I need to... I just don't want... I tell you for why I left it, because of what the start of the... You know, I knew it was going to be busy, so I didn't want to pressurize him into... like, oh, hey, remember me sort of thing. So I will message him back and say, hey, you know... I just, with the start of the egg, so to speak, I thought maybe they'd be busy, so I didn't want to put pressure on him to sort it. But I will, yeah. I'll probably message him in the next couple of weeks, and I'll let you know. I will find out when you're free, because he said that I could bring someone. Talking in code, yeah. It's not like it's a huge secret, but it is also. I mean, what am I thinking for Paul? Do you know what? I actually think Carlos Sainz might nick it. I actually think Carlos Sainz might nick pole. He's looking really good, is Carlos. Imagine if Carlos starts smashing it now after Ferrari have let him go. I think Hamilton's going to get knocked out in Q2. Based on what I've seen in Q1, I think he's going to struggle. Sainz, yeah, Sainz does have a point to prove. He certainly does. Who's this ahead of K-Mag? Are they going to move out of the way? It was a Red Bull. I mean, they only just moved out of the way. Norris currently with the quickest lap. Piastri did a 30.6. Norris does a 29.9. Ooh. Jesus. 7/10 better than Piastri. That's only 2/10 off the pole lap from last year. Oh, Magnus has had his lap time deleted. Ruined. Alonso goes P2. A couple of tenths off. Charles Leclerc's a 10th off. Four tenths off for Sainz. Not a great lap from him. Verstappen, purple, though. Charles Leclerc goes P2. Oof, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Russell's 7/10 off. Verstappen a 29.3. I said 29.4, 29.3 for pole. Oof. Perez 29.9. It's Red Bull 1-2. They've turned the engine up. 8th for Russell. Jesus. Are they on old tyres? Red Bulls were on new tyres. I don't think the other cars were on fresh rubber. Hamilton goes P6. Red Bull were on fresh tyres, though. Norris was on used tyres. And I think Mercedes were as well. But still, Norris was 4/10 quicker than Hamilton. All our hopium's gone, guys. Our hopium's all been used. Our hopium is gone. Our hopium is gone. So Hamilton was 0.4 of a lap, 0.4 slower than Norris, both on used tyres. Eek. Eek, eek, eek. But yeah, Norris, half a second off Perez and Verstappen with used tyres. Could be pretty good. Could be pretty good. So that gap would be a lot closer if Norris would have been on new tyres as well. We've already beaten the pole time from last year, which was 29.7. We've already beaten that. We're on a 29.3. George Russell did 30 point something. A 30.6. 1.3 seconds off, but he did make a mistake. He was on used tyres as well. Though, let's not get too carried away yet, guys. Like I say, there was a tyre differential there between Red Bull and McLaren, so let's not get too worried. Oh, what did George Russell do? Sorry. He was over the time delta. You get a time delta, so you don't go too slowly across the lap, and he exceeded it. Quite often it can be explained, though, by moving out of the way for cars. He'll go to the stewards and he'll say, oh, I had to wait for a car, and he'll get away with it. They're never usually punished. Perez was on used tyres, yeah. So Perez's lap is a bit worrying for him. So the bottom, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Ricciardo is quite surprising, and Albon. They're all on new now, but they were... No, sorry, Perez was on new tyres, sorry, Murray. Perez on new tyres. I think we could get into the 28s, for sure. We could absolutely see a 28. I still think, based on what I've seen, Verstappen's going to have enough in hand to get pole. And I know that's not what people want to hear. We can still hope that it is a close race tomorrow, but... Also, quick sidebar. Apparently, Aston Martin don't have any cooling vents on the side of their engine cover. Well, it's not that they don't have them available to them. They don't have any for this race weekend opened. So they must be very confident in their cooling. Pretty much all of the teams have vents there. And even though the temperatures aren't particularly hot for Bahrain, most other teams have still felt the need to run them. But Aston Martin, I guess they're so confident with their cooling. See, none of these drivers could afford to make any mistakes because it's so close that you make a mistake and you could end up from bloody P7 down to P14. It's wild. Driver's eye view is so cool, though, isn't it? Stroll is... No, he is improving on his time. Sorry, he is improving on his time. Albon goes P8. Carlos Sainz is 0.3 down on Verstappen's time, but he has just done a purple middle sector. Stroll goes 8th. Hamilton and Russell currently in the drop zone. They both need laps. Daniel Ricciardo goes P10. Sainz will go P2. Charles Leclerc is matching Verstappen's time on fresh tyres, you know. Alonso P3. Leclerc goes P1. 2/10 quicker than Verstappen. 29.1. Wowzer. Hulkenberg's taken it up to P5 as well, out of nowhere, by the way. Russell's less than a 10th down. Oh no, that's his time off Stroll, sorry. Sorry, that's off Stroll. Russell goes P6, 29.2. Still not a great lap, though, is it? 7/10. Hamilton goes 4. Still 6/10, though. Oh, half a second Hamilton was off Leclerc, and that's on new tyres. Stroll's out. Oh, Stroll. In the Aston Martin rocket ship. 4/10 off his teammate Fernando Alonso. Alonso in 5th. Lance Stroll in 12th. Also, a special shout out to Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg has taken that boat of a Haas to 6th in Q2. 6/10 off Leclerc's time. Faster than George Russell, actually. Magnussen is out. P15. Both RB cars out as well. Tsunoda and Ricciardo. This has been breaking all qualifying, this thing. It just doesn't... It's struggling to update for some reason. I think it's broken. Oh, yeah, it's gone down. Look. The website's broken. The website's gone down. Yeah, it's ruined. You'll just have whiteness. You've got no times on screen because the website's gone down. It was struggling, wasn't it? It was struggling and now it's gone capito. Hold on.
Okay, UKP 11 was not a bad lap.
Yeah.
Incoming raid. Pre-subscription received. Apparently you were doing something right, Captain.
Oh baby, it's a big one.
I might. Hey, Grizzle. Our timings have gone down. Bear with me a second. I'm trying to get new ones up. I think that should be right. Right, let's see if that works. Thank you very much, Mark, for the raid. I appreciate it very much. Right, we should be okay now. Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, 10th is missing, yeah. That is true. Sad, isn't it? Right, sorry, I had to do that on the fly because the other ones were broke. I did have a backup. Thankfully. In fact, this one's actually better. And thankfully it works. So, Q3. Yeah, there's one car missing off that for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, forget that for now. Yeah. So, who's getting pole position, guys? A Ferrari? Norris? It's not going to be a Mercedes, I could tell you that. They're way off the pace. I wish Peter was here. I wish Peter was here. He gave it to Billy Biggin yesterday. I wish he was here so we could talk about how far Mercedes are off. Yeah, Peter's not going to show his face now. I think it's... I mean, there's a very good chance it's going to be Max, isn't it? Let's be honest. Hulkenberg's been really outperforming that car, by the way. It's madness. Yeah. Look, well, Charles Leclerc could get pole. He seemed very strong in the last session. Mercedes are out there straight away. George Russell's out there on a set of softs. First flying lap. Yeah, the Mercedes are on fresh tyres, but Verstappen's gone quicker than Russell in the first sector anyway. He's a god, isn't he? .28.6 from Verstappen. Oof. Russell matched Norris's time, but Norris was on old tyres and Russell was on new. Verstappen on a 29.4. I mean, yeah. Hamilton goes P4. A 30.4. He must have had he's had a terrible lap. 0.8 off Russell's time. P3 for Sainz. Used tyres, though, I think, on the Ferrari. Charles Leclerc. P2. Oof. Less than a 10th. I could see Charles getting it, you know. I could see Charles Leclerc getting it. Well, the minute is less than a 10th between P1 and P2, but I suspect that's going to change. Well, I mean, it's the same space. If you mean like, it's hard to know because like we don't know the team's race pace, so Potentially first and second might not make a big difference when it comes to the race. We just don't know. But we've got 6 minutes left. They're gonna all go back into the garage, refuel, put on a fresh set of rubber, and we're gonna have the final runs, and we're really gonna know what's up. So Alonso's separating his run. He's going out when everyone else goes back in. Clear track, not worrying about anyone else. They're having to run that Mercedes very stiff, I think, to get the most out of it. It's not a smooth ride like it is in the Red Bull. Yeah, this layout I'm going to use for the race tomorrow. I think it's a lot better. It shows you the flag top left, so currently green. It'll show if it's yellow. It'll give you the session and the time. And it looks a bit cleaner than the other one. I think there's less chance of it going wrong as well. Because it pulls the information from the F1 TV app. 2 seasons ago, yeah, 2022. Max won the race quite easily last year. Yeah, Piastri's. I don't know where Piastri is on this. I'll keep tabs telling you where he is. No, I know he's there, but for some reason he's not showing up. So he is in P9. It's just for some reason Piastri isn't showing up. Piastri doesn't exist on these timings. I don't know why. Weird. Anyway, Alonso's on his time. Let's focus. Focus. Green first sector. Personal best, but not a purple. Alonso, oh, purple middle sector, 0.19 off. Oh, he looked like he had to take 2 stabs at the last corner. Yeah, third. 10th off. I think Max will improve. He did a 29.3 in Q2. I feel like he made a small mistake into the last corner. I couldn't see that well off that TV cam, so I don't know. Yeah, Piastri has been off, as you said. Piastri has been a little bit off. Flip him upside down and you'll see him. Yeah. Ferrari's going out now. Just as Piastri's starting his lap. Norris has just started his lap as well. Two tenths off, though, in the first sector. It looked close to the track limits, didn't it? I don't know if it was, but it looked close. Why is Hulkenberg on a used set? You'd save a fresh set for the final run, no? Oh, not a good first sector from Norris. Piastri still 2/10 down through 2 sectors. Lando with a purple middle, but he's still 2/10 down as well. Yeah, Verstappen's going to get a toe off this McLaren. Move out of the way, Piastri! Oh, yeah, he stole a proper toe there. Two tenths down, Norris 6th. What? Wow. I thought Norris was going to put in a storming lap on fresh tyres. Russell's slower than he's done in the first sector. Hamilton's done a personal best first. Verstappen already purple. Russell, 1.5, well, 1 3/4 tenths down, almost 2 tenths. So it doesn't look like he's improving. Hamilton isn't improving either. Hamilton's going to be P8 at best. Verstappen's 2 tenths up on his own time. Oh, he goes third. Russell goes third. 8th. Oh, that's really bad from Lewis. Verstappen, 29-1.
New subscription
What's going to
received.
happen now?
Dispensing gratitude.
Charles Leclerc.
Dispensed.
Already? What even is time?
No, Charles Leclerc, P2. Sides. No, P4. No. Perez, P5. Mmm. There you go. Russell's done a very good job there. Hamilton, it's weird. Hamilton did not look good in any part of qualifying. Whether he's changed the car for the race, I don't know. But he didn't. He looked like he had the measure of Russell all weekend to me, but he didn't look comfortable in qualifying. He didn't put a good lap in at all. Half a second covered the top 9, guys. Half a second covered the top 9. You know, it's 3 tenths of a difference between first and sixth. It's really close. 2 tenths between Verstappen and Leclerc.
You'll be on exit.
And we think Red Bull are better in race pace. Yeah. Yeah, Norris. Do you know what? Norris has been quite critical of himself recently, and you know, looking back on last year, saying that, you know, he's making qualifying mistakes and stuff like that. That's another one. Norris should have been right up there. Norris should have been right up there, but a mistake in the first sector has cost him a high qualifying position again. Not the first time, is it? He did that quite a lot last year. Yeah, so we got Perez in P5 behind both Ferraris and Russell. Perez is only 0.3 off Max. Well, 4 actually, isn't it? 0.4 off Max, really. Yeah. That's a really bad qualifying for Hamilton. I say it's really bad. He's only... No, what was he? He was like 0.5 off or whatever. Which is actually better than what Mercedes were last year, but it's still not good enough, is it? Especially when Russell's up there in P3. I don't see Max not winning the race tomorrow. Now, I want to just say a couple things here. First of all, it doesn't mean that they're going to win the race tomorrow. We know Ferrari have got good race pace, so let's not overreact. Second, this is one type of circuit, right? As it usually is the case, certain cars are better in faster tracks. Certain cars have better traction. The next circuit we're going to, Saudi Arabia, is a much faster circuit. Let's just see how it all pans out. Let's just go through the race tomorrow, see what happens. We need a few different tracks, really, to evaluate. So let's just see. Let's just see. Yeah. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. I obviously will be here tomorrow for Oracle Red Buoy Racing, is it? Yeah. Made to look like Red Bull Racing. Yeah, everyone's falling for that. I'm going to send you over to Tom and Adam. For those of you on YouTube, for those of you on Twitch, thank you very much. I'll be back for the race tomorrow. Join me, and we will watch the race, and we'll see what happens. Don't get too disheartened. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you all then. Have a lovely, lovely evening. Goodbye.